Hello, welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I'm Reese, and today I had the epiphany to talk about why circumstances don't matter, including my very creased shirt. Why circumstances and conditions don't matter, and sometimes you're you experience triggers, right? Those things that we call triggers that elicit any emotional response of anxiety, of doubt, of fear, of this and that, right? And then what happens is you start to avoid 3D reality. You start to avoid it, and then you're kind of denying yourself the experiences that can unfold from everywhere. You see, if you deny any one frame as a frame that you don't want to experience, and I'm not saying I'm not saying every single frame that you fear is gonna pop up in 3D reality. Just acknowledge the ones that do pop up, seen and unseen, in your imagination as your thoughts and feelings, or in the scene 3D. I have a sore throat. Seen 3D manifested events, people, and circumstances. Just acknowledge it as one quantum possibility. So, when you feel those triggers, what does it actually mean? And from my own understanding, what it means is that there's something here that you think says you are not what you desire to be. You are, I am not. That's impossible. So it's actually that idea that's being brought to the surface. I am not is impossible. You are I am. You are the very essence of I am. To say I am not is to say you are impossible. You exist. The impossible thing about life that science seems to keep on finding is that we shouldn't necessarily exist as a consciousness. No. Where is consciousness? What is this thing that we call consciousness? Where is it? What is it? And it shouldn't exist. It seems to be, and quite comically, quite often it's referred to as a mistake. Consciousness is a mistake. We shouldn't be conscious of life. And most of life isn't. Most of life isn't conscious that it's life. So when you deny what you're feeling, you deny those conditions, you deny those triggers as something that you're going to avoid. You're gonna avoid them. You are avoiding parts of yourself. Don't avoid them. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. I like that phrase that another coach coined, was just Tom Kellen from Be Something Wonderful. Drop the other shoe. When you have this thought about this thing and you start avoiding the thought, drop the other shoe. It's like, oh, I don't want to see this person. Just imagine seeing them. Imagine seeing them. Imagine seeing it the way you don't prefer, and then imagine how you do prefer, and know that you are the source of both those things. Especially when you're in the conditions itself. Especially when they seem confusing. Especially when they seem very paradoxical. Like, oh, the thing you wanted unfolded, and then in the next moment, oh, everything changed, and then it's unfolding differently. Always see it, always return to I am. I am everything at play right now. So it doesn't matter what it seems like. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you're feeling. It doesn't matter. Just know that you are the awareness behind it. It's all unfolding perfectly. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you wanted to go to a party. Or let's say you heard about a party and you didn't even realize that you wanted to go. Right? Okay? And then you get an invite to the party. And you're like, oh cool, I'm going to go to the party. And you prepped. And then you think about all the things that can happen, all the things that can't happen. And then you start to you want to avoid certain things and not avoid certain things. And you're worried about this and you're worried about that. And that's all okay. That's all perfectly fine. And then you get a message the party was cancelled, or you're uninvited, or something, right? Something like that, where you're just not going, or you're unable to go, basically. And then you feel, oh, what I wanted isn't unfolding. And you immediately go to that story, but you don't know that. You don't know the circumstances behind why your physical self was moved in this way to this reality, this part of reality, this understanding of reality, this viewpoint of reality where you're not at the party, with the knowing that there is a version of you at that party. You just don't know why. It's like you can't judge the circumstances from outside. And as a 3D being, you will always be on the outside of all of the understanding of the circumstances. You see, only the Father, only I Am, knows why. You can't know why, because the why is always changing. The why is always, 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 always changing. If someone says something to you in one moment, the next moment they can say something else. And if you ask them why they said the first thing, the answer that they tell you now is going to be different from the version that said it. It's always different. It's always a new thing. It's always a new identity. It's always a new you. And if you are a new you, everyone else is a new them. And you're that them. You're that I am. So when you're looking at the conditions and saying, no, this is not my reality. Why is this happening? What you're doing is kind of like this, right? What you end up doing is, what you're basically saying, right, is this. You see, you think you're standing out here, right? You think you're standing out here, and then when you say, oh, why is 3D happening with these conditions that I don't like, with these like sad things that are happening, whatever, you start to do that. You think that's 3D reality over there. You think that's what you are. You think you're this person seeing that. You're not. You are this. You are that frame. You are the whole frame. And the only thing that manifests this frame, is your I am. And what that frame is, what that frame turns into is your self-concept. Okay? That's your self-concept. Like what is in this frame is meaningless. What it always turns into is who you say you are. You are the creator of your reality. You are the creator of what's in this frame. You are the creator of what's in this frame, right? This frame here, this is the only frame that exists. This one. I know you think that there's a future frame and there's a past frame, but it's all here, right? Everything is here. You're only ever here. And when you are here, you're perceiving other frames that you think are your past, and you're perceiving other frames that you think is over there. So technically, your awareness is this, and then your physically focused self is there. Let's do that. Your physically focused self is here, considering yesterday, right? It's considering yesterday, and it's contemplating what tomorrow might be. What you have to understand is that from both of these points of view, where you are standing here, this is always changing. You see, because within this frame, there's other frames. All other frames exist. All other frames exist, and that you think you are that, and this that is actually an infinite number of you. An infinite number of you, and even in this past frame, it exists now in this frame. The future frames that you think that you're considering exist now in this frame. You are actually this person here. You are I am. You are I am. You are everything within the frame continuously. You are here in the dead center, and every single frame is connected to it. No matter where you think it is, no matter when you think it happened, no matter when you think it might happen, they all just exist right here and right now within the frame of reality. Right? So, how does this help you? How does this? Well, now what do I do with this? Okay, you want to go to the party. There's a frame where you don't go, and there's a story to why you don't go. There's an infinite number of stories as to why you don't go. It doesn't really matter which one pops up, right? Because you don't know the circumstances as to why you popped up, and as you keep going forward, the circumstances and the reasonings as to why you go forward, they're always changing, because they're always created now. So what you're pulling as your future, what you're pulling as your past, is happening all right now. Because this frame contains everything. It's not just the frame that you're physically focused on. That's just one point. One point of eternal now, where everything exists simultaneously. See, all of this exists in superposition, like a stacked deck of cards that's never really going up or down. It's just like there. So this frame is blank. And what does blank mean? Blank means I can put anything I want in here. I literally cannot imagine something that doesn't exist. Oh, that's good, nice. I literally couldn't imagine something that doesn't exist. It's just all infinite. It is infinity inside here, inside you. And what do you want your viewpoint to be? Who do you want to be? And then I get it, trust me. I get it when things seem like as if they're going sideways and backwards and whatever the hell else, right? And you don't understand. And sometimes you come up with some idea. It's like, oh, this thing is happening because that makes sense, and then that stops making sense because you find out something else, because everything's always changing. Like, you don't know that something that happened 6 months ago happened 6 months ago. You only know it's happening now as your past identity who experienced it, and this is you that's here now. You know, I'll give you another example. For the people who are out of school, how often does it actually come up that you went to the school that you went to, unless you were thinking about it? Because effectively in that moment, you want that identity that went to that school. You know, you went to a school that's just there somewhere, but you're not really considering that. Right? Hope that makes sense. So, the phrase coin, conditions and circumstances don't matter. That's why. Because you are in the dead center, in the middle of every single frame. Now, think about this quickly. When you go out today in the world, right? Or maybe you are in the world and watching my video or taking a walk. I do that. When you look at everything, understand you are looking at them from your viewpoint. You are looking at them in the viewpoint of who you are. That is why that is why you don't go and check. You don't check on the 3D, because one, checking on the 3D implies 3D is separate from you and you're treating it as that, but it's not that. And two, you don't check on the 3D because it's you saying, I'm gonna go look for the version of whomever and whatever that resonates with me. If it resonates with you, it has to find you. It has to come for you. You don't know where it is. Like, you don't know where something is lost or happening or whatever. You don't know where that is. You have no idea where it is, right? So you don't go look for it. But then the reason you go look for it is that you don't think this thing is going to come find you. That's not true. It has to find you. And I'll prove it. How many times have you feared something or doubted something or didn't want something and it literally came and found you? Like, you want checking on Instagram for your SP's posts or whatever the hell. You want checking your bank account every 5 minutes to see if you can pay this bill, or if you're gonna get a bill or whatever it was. If you're trying to lose weight and train, all the things you're not jumping on the scale every day. You can do all this. That's fine. Jumping on the scale every day, and then somehow someone told you something about your SP, or you saw them, or you saw her, or him, whatever. You got a random bill and you have to pay for something in your bank account, like it's blaring in your face. or you had to go for a checkup and the doctor said, oh, you got to stand on the scale. It's just examples, but that's reality finding you. You didn't go look for all those things, right? And that's one of the ways where you can say, hey, I don't know I create my own reality. How do I really know that? See, when you fixate on those things and you know you're fixating on them, those unwanted stuff, and they come find you, it's a really easy way to say, okay, you know, I do actually create my own reality. The stuff that I'm focused on quite simply comes and finds me. It's like, but how do I focus on only what I want? By allowing everything to just be there and consciously giving energy to what it is you do want. That's it. Pretty much that, to be honest. Because there's no process that anyone does to experience their own fears, right? There's no process for you to experience your fears. I mean, you can do that, but you just don't. The process is, I am fixated on my fears. So fixate on what you dream about. But the fears keep coming up. Now, allow those fears to be there and accept them as one quantum possibility or reality where everything is changing. Sorry, I'm just remembering my own circumstances and conditions and things that are unfolding right now. It's quite funny. Yeah. Remember, I've completely lost what I was going to say. Doesn't matter. So again, remember, conditions and circumstances don't matter, right? So when you see all those things, when you see what's happening, when you see what's unfolding, it doesn't really matter that you don't like this thing, that you're feeling triggered from this thing. But don't give it the story that, no, this is not real, I'm scared of this, I'm trying to avoid this, blah, blah, blah. This is one quantum possibility. It's okay if it's playing out. It's okay if it exists. It's okay that it does exist. It does. I am source. If I am source, and since I am source, and since you are source, would you really take away one part of reality, any part? Would you deny some reality where at least one person wants to experience that reality and everyone is playing their part, right? Would you deny that? Even if it's not you, even if it's the love of your life being with somebody else, would you deny the existence of that? Would you deny the existence of them experiencing that love, even with the knowing that a different version of them is experiencing it with you? Would you deny the other one, just because you saw it, just because you fear it, just because you don't like it? Would you truly deny that? Not from the 3D you, from the you that is source, from the you that is God, from the you that is reality itself. You see, when you're talking about reality can't exist on its reality can't exist when if you think there's another reality there. That's why when you're looking at something, what you're looking at is not reality. From your 3D point of view, what you are looking at is not reality. You are reality, encompassing what you're looking at and everything you are not looking at. What you are looking at is not reality. The thoughts and feelings are not reality. Because when you say that, it's referring to it as one thing, as one reality separate from you. No, the real you is all realities, and you are observing one through a viewpoint. It's all connected. It's one big moment, one big bang of foreverness. It's one big bang of foreverness that didn't really have a start, and doesn't have an end. We just have it as that for our 3D understanding, that there was a start and there was an end to this, because it had to have come up and have to have gone, but that doesn't even make sense. It just existed. But our 3D minds can't really comprehend existence. You just exist. So, circumstances don't matter, conditions don't matter, thoughts and feelings don't matter. And trust me when I say I know how they feel. I really do. Especially when it's about things that are close to you. Especially when it's things that are in your heart, the things that you've experienced being with you for years and years and years and years and years. Family, your best friends, people you love, etc. Changing as you change, changing as you decide who you are. And when you really decide who you are, source from the realization I have a desire that no longer fits the bill of what's going on in my 3D reality. A whole new set of bricks comes up, a whole new set of being comes up, a whole new set of things come up, a whole new set of falling and rising comes up. You know, the greatest kingdoms fall and rise, always. And you are the king of your kingdom. You are the king of your reality. The kingdom of your reality falls and rises because you are the king. And as the king of your reality, you are changing who you are. It's your royal decree that manifests what your current reality is in this viewpoint moment, what it will be. It's always changing. I am the king. I am royalty. I am the one who decrees, and as I decree, it is. Things fall apart, things come back, and you cannot understand why. I'm not saying you're not supposed to, you literally can't understand why. You're not supposed to, because there's no reason that is static as to why. It's always changing. It literally changes overnight. Everything is different because you change overnight. Because you change overnight, and you be that change even if everything else in your reality seems like it's not, because you are one with reality. So when you change, it's changed. It's always changing. So change so dramatically that it has no choice. Reality has no choice but to just say, okay, let's go. Like you've gone from 0 to 100, and you don't have to go from 1, 2, and 3. You can go from 0 to 100 right now, and reality is gonna go, okay, buckle up, and can things happen in a matter of hours? And trust me when I say it doesn't always feel good, but that not feeling good is saying, check out, you are resonating with an idea that you no longer resonate with. Keep going. Keep going through that thing. Go find, don't avoid your triggers. Say, yeah, okay, that's gonna trigger me. Go, ooh. You are the king of reality, or queen. King and queen doesn't really matter, right? Like feminine and masculine, it doesn't really matter. Everyone's both, because everyone's love, and love is everything. So circumstances don't matter. You are reality. Conditions are whatever. I am who I say I am, and I am Reese, and this is your reality. And I am grateful that you're here. I'm grateful for the comments and the likes and the subscribing and the love. I have a Facebook group if you want to join. There's a TikTok page you can join as well. If you want to reach out for advice, coaching, whatever it is, you can talk to me on YouTube, or you can reach out on Facebook, etc. and we can get on that. But this is your reality. I'm Reese again. Much love and take care.